NASCAR has realized the crossover between our audiences, the fishing world, the NASCAR world.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much.
At Homestead, there's actually a lake in the middle of the infield.
This is a fishing tournament.
I mean, for me, I'm already out of my element. You got some live bait in there, those pilchards or what?
So after the race, Rush and I knew that we had to take these guys fishing.
What are you looking for?
Just kudas, cobia.
The one option that always gets guys excited is going shark fishing. Keep your rod up out of the props.
My name is Ali Hussainy. I grew up in Southern California and now operate one of the largest sport fishing websites in the world.
Just another day at the office.
My office, not yours. I'm Rush Maltz. I got you. What you seeing? Florida Keys native and career fishing guide for the past 20 years. Fish. When I come out to California, you can let me catch all the 300-pound tunas.
Our passion is our profession, and we know there's more to fishing than just the catch.
There's a good mark right there. That's what I like to see.
That's the one. He's not superstitious because that's bad luck. Woo. All right, get with him. Come with him.
We explore the people, places, and species that make up the culture of fishing.
So one day I ended up getting a message from a guy named Dave Ducharme. Dave was really excited about working together, and we get that a lot. But Dave was offering up another kind of bait that we've never even thought of before, putting our logo on a NASCAR.
Obviously, my first thoughts are, yeah, right.
Dave's a big fisherman, and he understands the crossover better than we ever will between fishermen and NASCAR fans. You know, Dave works for a company, Superior Essex, that sponsors the Starcom racing team and the 00 car. So the minute I got Dave on the phone, kind of worked through it, I could tell he was legit, and I started to tell the team about it, and it was just a slam dunk. We had to do this. This was not going to get away from us. Dave's idea was to have us sponsor a NASCAR for the last race of the season at Homestead Miami Speedway. That's about all it took on our end. We were in.
This is a relationship that Dave had brought to the table with Superior Essex, and he approached me and said, what do you think about this idea? And I was sold from the second he told me. I said, this is a fantastic idea.
Immediately, first thing we did was put our designer, Derek Redwine, to work and had him design a fishy NASCAR.
We put the whole thing together, and along came the Mahi car.
You know, right from the first rendering, knocked it out of the park. We were blown away. The NASCAR folks were blown away, and we knew we had a hit on our hands.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for our Hot Rods and Reels annual charity fishing tournament. All of you know Daryl Gwynn.
NASCAR has realized the crossover between our audiences, the fishing world, the NASCAR world. They have actually leveraged that connection to help. The Friday before the race, NASCAR hosts the Hot Rods and Reels tournament right there on the lake in the infield of the racetrack. Daryl Gwynn has a really unique story. He was a champion drag racer, and his charity that he liked to support was this Miami project that worked with paralyzed people. In 1990, Daryl gets into a racing accident and he himself becomes paralyzed. Since then, it has been his life's work to really help support paralyzed people in the forms of getting them equipment and assistance that they need.
Todd, to everybody that puts this on, we do this for guys like you, Jacob. So
at this particular race, it was awesome to watch as they awarded a very power-assisted, expensive wheelchair to a deserving young man. I mean, it literally brought him and the crowd to tears. The Hot Rod and Reels tournament is really unique in the way that they raise money for charity. It's all bait casters, Rush. You good with that?
Perfect.
All right, right up your alley?
Right up my alley.
I brought my jig stick too. They give an opportunity for these NASCAR fans. You have the ability to fish with your hero and donate money to a good cause.
So here's the limit. This is a fishing tournament, so there's structure. So I don't think size matters, okay? Any size.
At Homestead, there's actually a lake in the middle of the infield, and there are actually some pretty nice bass in that lake.
So, you know, this whole tournament is based around getting to fish with the NASCAR driver. So we've got our driver, Landon. We've got our ringer that we pulled in, Scott Martin, and then you've got me and Rush, who honestly don't know too much about bass fishing.
You got some live bait in there, those pilchards or what? I am a saltwater fisherman. I've never really even caught a bass in my life.
As soon as you start fighting that fish, I'm gonna start yelling, don't set the hook like some saltwater fisherman. What are you, one of those saltwater guys? Because that's what the saltwater guys always say to us bass fishermen when we're fighting a fish.
Local knowledge is brought to you by Evinrude, fastest, cleanest, smartest. The only outboard that lets you have it all. Penn, let the battle begin. Yeti, built for the wild. Seakeeper, once you feel it, you'll never boat without it. The Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. Bubba, the ultimate lifestyle. Nomad Design, crafted by experience. And by bdoutdoors.com.
Just lift up. There you go. We caught him on the radar, on the sonar, dude. Did we not?
Did you see that
crazy?
setup? I could be a bass fisherman. So for us to even compete or not look like total fools, we had to pull a little rabbit out of the hat. And that rabbit came in the form of Scott Martin.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's actually good.
Evinrude kind of helped put the two of us together.
Ali, put this in the well for me.
Yeah, put him on that right-hand side.
Don't rip a gill, please.
He was cool as hell. Didn't take himself serious, loved to laugh, have a good time. I mean, it was a great fit. And we brought Scott in. Scott brought us some secret bait, some technology, some knowledge, and next thing you knew, we were right in the hunt for this tournament.
There you go. He's got one. Got another fish on. He's a little smaller. He's cute. We got a cute one.
So, you know, before we get Landon on the boat, we're kind of quizzing him about what kind of fishing has he done. And his brother apparently is a really big fisherman and even fishing guide. And Landon's more of a casual fisherman.
I grew up fishing and with my brother who fished on the FLW tour. He fished in college. He was a fishing guide up in Alaska at Alaska West.
And as soon as we pinned a bait on and threw it over the side, he caught his first fish. Landon's a fisherman.
I mean, for me, I'm already out of my element on a bass boat in the middle of a lake. Oh, I got a good one.
That's how we do it.
There you go.
To make it even more interesting, all you could hear is the roar of these souped up NASCARs constantly doing laps, warming up for pre-trials and races. And take notes, take notes. I'm a bass fisherman. You can't even hear yourself think. You can't even hold a conversation because there's 20 cars on a track doing 200 miles an hour.
But one thing I do know, we're all gonna be competitive and we're all gonna have a good time and a few laughs.
I'll tell you what, I'm proud of you guys. I am proud of everyone here because I know y'all don't bass fish a lot, and you haven't bass fished in years, but we did good.
Hey, we did okay.
Yeah, we almost got a trophy, but fourth place isn't bad at all these people.
You know, when I showed up to the track, I was immediately blown away by just the scope, the amount of people, the amount of motor homes and helicopters, and
the scale of the whole thing was really, really blowing my mind.
totally blew my mind. Then it was the access that, again, I'm like, what the hell? I am literally standing next to these guys. I don't even follow NASCAR. I know who half of these guys are, you know, and getting to see the cars and all that. Amazing.
I got the full experience, NASCAR experience. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more.
I've been a sports fan for a lot of years. I've been to a lot of Charger games, Padre games, hockey games, whatever. The only way I can compare the access that a fan can have at a NASCAR race, it's like you're in the locker room. Literally, I'm sitting there with my head inside of Jimmy Johnson's car checking out his setup. I don't even know what I'm looking at, but I can do that. You know, you can right in there with the pit crews. The other thing is, you know, I would imagine if you're in a locker room in the NFL, you're probably not super welcome. Everyone was so accommodating. I mean, it was mind-blowing. I've never done anything like that. The amount of access that you get when you show up with a team like Starcom is unbelievable. I mean, and they do this and they do it very, very well. We were able to walk right onto the track. We could walk right through the pits. If you aren't careful, you can get run over at one of these things with this access. I mean, it was that good. So after the race, Rush and I knew that we had to take these guys fishing.
So what's the goal today? What are we going for today?
We're gonna do some more inshore stuff with the wind. So I think, what do you think of Rush? A couple sharks, maybe?
We're gonna go to this really pretty area. It's about 25 miles from here. It's called the Marquesas. It's kind of.
After getting the, whatever you want to call it, 5-star treatment, VIP access, NASCAR experience, there was no way we weren't going to return the favor. You relax and enjoy yourself. We want to show you guys a
I
good
can do
time.
that.
These guys, you know, they haven't really seen the Keys all that much. I was really looking forward to showing them a good time. In this world, there's a lot of things you control, but there's a lot of things you can't control. And one of those things is the weather. So I figured we'd make a little run down to the west, possibly look for a little cobia, but keep it kind of low key and light. I don't see anybody up on top.
What are you looking for?
Just kudas, cobia, anything really. You know, these fish, these wrecks create
Kudas.
structure. A lot of times when I go down west, I like to fish a little circuit of shallow wrecks. The fish will congregate around the structure to eat and stuff, you know? So anytime you find structure, you know, you're generally gonna find some kind of life. Otherwise, it's a desert out here. There's always a ton of little fish and cobias, and there could be permit. You just never know what's gonna pop up on these wrecks.
Jason, 1, 2, 3. I feel a little nibble here and there, but
That's probably just your bait swimming around. Obviously, my job is a professional fisherman, a guide, but a big part of my job is to teach people fishing, to teach people how to fish while we're on the boat.
There you go. Feed him a sec. There you go. Now wind him tight. Nice.
One's coming after yours, Matt.
Yep.
Ooh,
Whoa. Wind, Matt.
There you go. Doubled up.
All right, let's see which way our lines are going here. If you could steer yours around, yep. Steer yourself over the motors, come to this side. We're gonna try and keep you guys spaced out.
I mean, there's a lot of techniques that are really foreign to people. Some people, you know, pick it up really fast, you know, and others it takes a little while.
woo-hoo-hoo. He's taking that line, baby. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I had him tight. He was taking line. I was letting him go.
It's just the nature of the fish, unfortunately.
Landon definitely picked it up fast.
Come on, Landon. One of us has got to land these things.
What's the biggest fish you ever caught before this, Landon?
This one?
This one? How about before this?
Oh, probably a largemouth bass.
You know, on the ride out, we were kind of talking about what to expect, and Landon mentioned that he really wanted to catch a barracuda, and he was fired up about this.
Coming right at you. You go there.
When we got on the boat and he said that we could catch some, maybe see some cuda today, it made me think of my father-in-law who calls my wife Cuda to get under her skin.
So, job one, find barracuda. And down here in the Keys, that's a pretty reliable fish you can chase. And, you know, we got set up, and within a few minutes, we had some action.
There he is.
Yeah,
Woo! All right.
That, huh?
Yes!
You like that, huh?
Hey,
That
buddy.
doesn't look like a dinosaur.
How you doing? Cuda.
And most fish, like, try to eat the bait in one bite. These cudas, they'll swim right through the bait.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what they...
they'll cut it in half, then they'll come up and pick up the chunks.
Really?
They go through it like a pair of scissors.
I'm just gonna put them on ice right here, keep them fresh.
Okay.
We're gonna go catch Matt another one. We'll let that one go. We don't need a bunch of them. And then we'll go catch a shark.
Okay.
Landon and Matt came to Key West not just for the opportunity to go fishing. You know, that was definitely part of it, but they're not hardcore fishermen.
Wind on it, Matty. There you go. Keep your rod up out of the prop.
Come on.
There you go, you got them.
They wanted to go, you know, having a good time in the boat, not get their butts beat. We had a lot of wind that day coming out of the south. It was gonna be really rough and choppy.
Ain't losing you this time. Come on, buddy.
Being hardcore fishermen, we tend to get really jaded with certain species or whatever.
We ain't letting this one go. Come on, baby.
I think the same holds true with the barracuda. You know, on our coast, guys get really fired up to catch barracuda. Over here, I'd say, you know, it's more of a tourist fish.
Here he comes.
And the reason it's a tourist fish is because it's cool as hell. Yeah, pretty much.
How you doing there, Matt?
We're there.
Don't reel anymore.
Yeah, try and keep his head in the water, Matty. Big fish with big gnashing teeth that bites the hell out of your baits. I mean, they're not shy. You can see them before you catch them.
There he is.
There we got him.
Perfect hook set.
Look at that. It's all in the skill, see?
You can see on his face right here.
And for a guy coming from Wisconsin, you know, wherever, if you're not from a fishy city, it's a unique fish that's probably on your bucket list.
All right, we're gonna let this one go, all right?
Let it go. See, Landon? Told you we were gonna let him go.
We're not just savages.
Local knowledge is brought to you by CV Boats, lead the way. Costa, see what's out there. Mustad, the standard in saltwater. Aftco, any fish, any water. Sea Deck, your boat deserves Sea Deck. JL Audio, how we play. Casa Vieja Lodge, experience 5-star angling in tropical Guatemala. The Saltwater Angler, Key West. And by Taco Marine.
Landon, how did you get into racing? I mean, is it something that you started as a young kid?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the car business, and so I've always been around cars.
Being on the boat for X amount of hours with somebody, a lot of good conversation comes up.
It was about 8 years old was when it got serious. I started racing go-karts, but when I was 4, my family got four-wheelers for my brother and I.
I was very interested in Landon's occupation.
I actually got to the point in go-kart racing where I was sponsored by a go-kart manufacturer and was getting all of our stuff for free. And you kind of move up from there to different grassroots type of racing. A lot of people go dirt racing.
Like midgets and stuff like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, midgets, sprint cars, open wheel. I actually went asphalt racing.
Okay.
My first NASCAR Cup Series race, I was 20.
You get to do what you're really passionate about, and that's a lot better than going to a lame job every day. That's awesome. You know, if you're in the Keys and the wind is up, the one option that always gets guys excited is going shark fishing.
We're gonna hang all that CUDA, a couple of these bonitas over the side, and it's basically making a chump slick. You know, when you're going shark fishing, one of the major things I look for is good tide flow. Whatever it is, it's on there. Let him run, okay, he's running, let him run. I want water moving, whether it be incoming tide or outgoing tide.
So when he stops running is when I reel?
Then you can try to lift up and then wind down.
Yeah, now he's fighting. Oh, God.
Here he comes.
You know, you have the opportunity to catch a 100, 200, 300-pound shark in just a few feet of water on very light tackle.
He must be yanking his head or something.
No, that's him shaking his head trying to get the hook out. It's exciting fishing for anyone.
She's pulling really hard now.
Really?
Yeah.
The sharks down here in the Keys are also good game fish.
There's another shark right behind us, or I couldn't tell if that was a shark or a...
I got one right here that...
What do you got right
Keep
there?
your hand, take your hand out of the spool. They've got giant nurse sharks, which on this light tackle are sporting by any means. I mean, you're in for a 20-minute fight. You got pliers in your pocket?
How about the dehookers? You want to cut it close?
She's free. Look at that line.
Nice job, Landon.
Their skin is almost...
buddy?
Wow, that was
Their
nuts.
skin's like sandpaper, you know, if you rub them the wrong way.
Yeah.
I told you it wasn't gonna be long for this world, but once we touch the leader, that's an official release. So that was your first nurse shark.
All right.
You could kind of see as the day went on and we had more and more action, Landon was getting fired up.
Go ahead, pick it up. Pick it up, point it right at him. Don't do anything yet, point it right at him. When I tell you, you're gonna push this lever all the way to right there.
Probably the same one I just had. She's not too smart.
We're gonna get a look at him right here. I kind of thought it might be another nurse shark, but...
And at one point, he even asked us if he could leader match shark.
What is this?
That looked like a nurse shark.
You want to get him?
Sure. Where's the gloves?
Gloves on. And you know, hey, we're happy to oblige. The guy stepped in there, he did a great job, got to see the shark up close. It was cool to kind of see him step into our world and give it a shot.
Good job.
Sweet.
Good riddance.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You know, by our standards, this day of fishing wasn't a blowout or anything like that, but you know, it worked out. It was a great casual day on the water. Matt was so stoked with the day on the water. Landon had a great time, and now we've got a couple more friends for life.
Found a whole new respect for a sport that I tend to follow now more than I ever have my whole life.
After spending time at the track together, spending some time on the boat together, I know one thing's for sure. I'm a NASCAR fan. I caught myself, you know, looking for the results of the Daytona 500, which I've never done before in my life. If you like to fish and you don't follow NASCAR, take it from me. I had zero interest, and now I'm hooked.